Well, if you're really so determined to have a fight, then I'll oblige.
Hello everybody listening to this around the world on YouTube. My name is Ben Johnson. I am the host of the Kung Fu Movie Guide podcast. Thank you all so much for listening to this conversation from our archive. The conversation you are about to hear was originally released on the 27th of June 2016. It features my conversation with the Kung Fu movie expert Toby Russell. Toby is the son of legendary British director Ken Russell. He is also a director, producer, writer and actor. Toby was highly instrumental in helping to release a number of classic kung fu movies here in the UK for the very first time. This conversation was recorded in person here in London. Remember, you can subscribe to the Kung Fu Movie Guide podcast right now, wherever it is that you get your podcasts. That is the best way to make sure that you never miss a brand new episode of the show. This was actually our very first episode, released in 2016. Since then, we have spoken to some of the biggest names from the world of martial arts action movies. You can listen back to all of our previous episodes via your podcast provider and via our website, kungfumovieguide.com. That is also where you will be able to read the latest martial arts movie reviews and information, as well as sign up to our newsletter, donate to the Kung Fu Movie Guide, and find ways to get in touch. If you would like to contact us, then please do. We do love to hear from you guys. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I will be back at the end of this conversation to sign off properly, but until then, here we go then. Here is my conversation with Toby Russell.
He's still the number one of all the Kung Fu guys.
Yeah.
Business-wise and popularity-wise. Like, I put a thing on Facebook for one of the channels I manage, and in half an hour I had like 7,000 likes and 1,000 shares within half a day. I mean, which is quite a lot. Normally you get the most. Normally you get 700, 800.
Yeah.
But that was like, wow, very quick for something that old, you know.
So you still, I mean, just Bruce Lee alone, then, do you think he's still got that sort of... Clearly he's still...
By far, everybody. He trounces them all.
Yeah.
I mean, if you made a book on any of the other guys, you wouldn't sell many of it.
Yeah.
If you make a Bruce Lee book, we sold out of the last 3 books.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a very few left.
Yeah. This is Steve Carriage's book?
Yeah, he did 3 for us, and they're all done, basically. We got a few back for our own mail order, but we've had to stop selling them on the site. Stopped. It's finished.
Yeah,
run
just
out.
So popular.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do you think? What's the appeal there that still, inspires people? What is it about Bruce Lee? Do you think
he's the first? The major. He brought it to the surface.
Yeah.
He was the best one for that. He's the only one with real star appeal, I suppose, that crossed over, and it's the one people remember the most.
Yeah.
You don't get much young people into this. It's all older people from 35 upwards, I'd say.
Yeah.
And even they're like Jackie Chan, they're like all of them, but they still like Bruce Lee.
The original.
Yeah, it's strange. And
was he quite a inspiration to you? Do you remember him sort of being on the scene and then getting into his movies?
Yeah, I got a book about him from my mum. I hadn't seen his films, and then I saw like a trailer.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't watch his films here. Yeah. It wasn't allowed. And that really got me into it.
Yeah.
And I was a major... I'd look through that book every day. It's the best. I want to see it.
Yeah.
But we couldn't. We had to wait. So any opportunity I'd get to watch a clip or go overseas, I'd go to Kung Fu movies.
And that would have been what sort of year would that?
Oh, that was 74, I guess.
74, yeah. So where were you born? Were you born in
London? Yeah.
And I mean, growing up around that time, I mean, that must have been quite exciting if you were just getting into. Bruce Lee was on the scene and
big posters, big cinema marquees.
Yeah,
it was the best. Chinatown, would be full of these posters. You couldn't read it, but you could see. You knew what it was, right?
Yeah.
So when I discovered that in about '78 was good. Yeah. Because they didn't care how old you were. There was no censorship for them then.
Yeah.
So we watch anything. We go after school. We even took the whole school once.
Yeah.
So that was pretty good.
The whole school went?
The whole class, yeah, for the end of term. So Snuff Bottle Connection.
Really well.
And the teacher was famous now. He's Sebastian Faulks, the writer.
Sure, yeah.
He was teaching and he brought everybody to Chinatown to watch Snuff Bottle. Under my recommendation, of course. I said, let's watch something different.
Yeah.
So he's all right.
So you were pushing the kung fu.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah.
People would talk about it at school. It was quite a craze.
Yeah.
And people practiced karate and kung fu as well.
Yeah.
It was really popular then.
Was that so? What was your sort of entry into it then? That was that Bruce Lee book, and then getting into
Bruce Lee book,
was the first,
and then movies, all the margin on TV.
Yeah.
Anything with martial arts in it, basically.
Were you into the movie side or the actual? Were you just fascinated by the actual the kung fu
as well? The whole thing was fascinating.
Yeah.
You know, you believed it then. Now we know it's not. But when you're small, you're like, yeah, that's the best thing ever.
Yeah. What you
believe? Oh, they can jump about. Yeah. Believe it.
And just generally getting into obviously behind the scenes of movies as well, because I know we touched on that earlier. Just growing up,
yeah.
You know, with your dad, and did you get much sort of experience there going into movie sets and getting involved in that?
We're always on the sets, so but like it put us in the movies, but just as as crowd or small parts.
Yeah.
But then in one movie, I had a job, like it was a stand-in for the other. Also, my sister, she had a big part in the movie.
Right.
So I got the whole summer. We didn't go to school. We had tutors.
Yeah.
And we were on the movie.
Wow.
So that was cool.
Which movie was
Tommy.
that? Tommy. You were in Tommy?
Yeah. I was the stand-in.
Yeah.
So, I got stamped on by Oliver Reed and everything. It was great. It was cool. And I was getting good pay for it.
Yeah.
And hanging out with the Who.
Wow.
So
how old were you then?
About 11 or 12.
Okay, hanging out with the Who.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's my first porno mag. Keith Moon gave me it.
No way.
Because here you go, son, have a look at that.
Yeah.
He was cool though. He was nuts,
Yeah.
Really
I mean, they
mad.
were known as being sort of hellraisers, weren't they? Oliver Reed as well.
Yeah, but it's all Keith Moon's fault.
Oh,
I mean,
really?
they were bad, but they weren't like him. He really was mad.
Yeah.
I mean, my dad said, that guy. Because that guy's just gone. He's off the planet.
Yeah.
He's just not here.
Yeah. It's sad that obviously those guys didn't. Oliver Reed did last a while, didn't he? But
Keith Moon. He died not long after that.
Yeah.
Down the road from here, Mayfield, wasn't it?
Yeah. Okay, so that's quite exciting. So you do remember? Were you interested? I mean, what were your ambitions at that age? Then were you just?
No.
Did you want to get into movies, or were you just fascinated by them?
I can't remember. No, I think I probably wanted to be in movie business somehow.
Yeah.
I just lived every day at a time, trying to see the next movie.
Sure.
It was like, what's on this week? What's on next? I'd watch 14 movies a week.
Wow.
On screens, not on videos. On the cinemas.
Yeah. 14 kung fu movies.
Yeah, you could do it then.
Yeah.
It'd be like a lot of late night work.
Yeah.
And then there were certain areas like Harlesden, Stoke Newington, they had these really horrid cinemas.
Yeah.
And they were like ghetto flea pits, and the only thing they could afford to show were kung fu's.
Yeah.
So it was good for me.
So where were they getting? Were they
Chinatown? They're renting it.
Chinatown, yeah.
Or you can rent from the studios.
Yeah.
They did sometimes. They'll rent some Shaw Brothers old English dub ones.
Yeah,
they didn't care as long as it was kung fu. They'll show it.
Yeah.
And there was an audience for it.
And let's describe the audience there. Then there would have been sold out audiences, mostly kids.
In the daytime, it's not much people there.
Yeah.
And 80% black people.
Yeah.
And that's everywhere was the same.
Yeah.
Even the late night. There's mostly black guys going to it.
Yeah. Quite rowdy atmospheres in those places.
Oh, it's the best, yeah. Total madness.
Yeah.
You couldn't hear it sometimes, the screens, You couldn't. They could just turn the sound off, no point. It was madness, actually.
What sort of films sort of really grabbed your attention around that
the
sort of
Sammo Hung films, and Jackie Chan's.
Yeah.
The Shapes movies, they didn't really like those. They didn't like Bruce Lee too much,
Right.
Because there's nothing. Maybe we'd seen it too much by then, or it's like the Shapes, the Sammo Hung movies, the Liu Jialiang, them movies.
Sure, yeah.
Where they'll focus in on a certain technique.
Yeah.
And then everyone will just cheer at that.
Yeah.
So it could be like Drunken Master, they'll be waiting for the end bit,
Sure.
Just go nuts, or Sammo Hung, or Thundering Mantis when he loses it, they'll go mad. And Warriors 2 was probably one of the best.
Yeah.
He just, when the Leon Guyan takes the tea, accepts him, they went nuts.
That's a great scene.
And it was people standing there, there was no seats left, there was standing room.
Yeah.
It just went nuts, just for taking the
tea.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to capture your imagination, isn't it?
Yeah, you go nuts.
Yeah. And were you working because you worked in a cinema, didn't you, in the West End?
Yeah, I worked there was 2 bosses, 3 actually. I worked for all of them. They didn't like it. It was like Clint Eastwood playing off one and the other. But I worked for one more than the other. And I started out just carrying films to this BBFC, or putting flyers on cars, and then from there I rented films from them and did my own shows. Yeah. And then I worked in the projection room for them for about a year. And then after that I went to Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they knew Jackie Chan, and they told me when he'd be there and you'd go and see him and all that. Because the boss, he had some influence in Hong Kong. He was quite a rich guy. His dad made coffins in Hong Kong. He was quite famous.
Wow. So who was this? So this was you had a connection in Hong Kong then?
Well, they did, yeah.
Yeah.
So when I first went to Hong Kong was in 81.
Yeah.
And they said, if you go now, Jackie Chan will be there, and he'll let you stay on his set for as long as you want.
Yeah.
So I went there with my friend Wayne Archer, who's in a lot of films. And then we just stayed with Jackie for like 2 weeks. It was excellent.
Wow.
I was doing Dragon Lord.
What was he doing? Dragon Lord.
Dragon Lord was the end fight. That was pretty good.
Cool. Okay, so that was your first time out
in Hong Kong. Yeah, I'd been to Japan 3 years before that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't for kung fu.
And was this just as a fan then at this stage, or were you looking to? You were already looking to make your own films, were you?
No? I don't know. I was in the business by then. We had a Jackie Chan fan club. The first one was Jackie Chan said, "I want that now, so you can close that." And we said, "All right, whatever you want, Jackie."
Yeah, you're the boss.
He liked it, but we didn't care.
Yeah.
We liked it that he liked it.
Yeah, of course.
And so we were doing that. We were renting films, showing films, doing videos, buying the rights, from Hong Kong guys.
Yeah.
It was cheap back then, $500. You could buy a film.
Right.
And it's great. By the rights, I mean.
Yeah.
So, I was already in the business. And of course you think, I would like to make a film, but it's difficult.
Yeah. And what was your dad thinking around this sort of time then? Was he...
He don't care about it. Yeah. He likes it. If you want to... He just thought they were mad.
Was he like, clearly this is Toby's passion?
Yeah, he knew that, yeah.
Yeah.
But he can't understand those films.
Yeah.
He knows they're good.
Yeah.
It's a bit like, I remember seeing Scorsese interviewed about it. He said the same thing. He goes, I know what I'm seeing is really good, but I just don't understand it.
Sure.
But I know it's good.
Yeah.
But then it's so good, it's over there.
Yeah.
It's kind of complicated, some of it. The good end stuff, like Bastard Swordsman and that.
Sure.
It's too advanced. They don't...
Too advanced in the sense of like
what's going on? Everything,
the
choreography, editing, the story. Why is that man putting out a candle with his hand? It's like, what? Yeah. Why are these people spinning like that? Yeah. They know this. It's not just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
It's from old styles and books.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They're cultural references as well, aren't they? As well. So.
They are a lot.
Yeah.
It's not just like the old 70s bashers, but it was just fist for money, really, wasn't it? So the more violent will make more money.
Yeah.
But it slowly progressed to a higher evolved sort of filmmaking around the 80s.
Sure.
Late 70s. He got quite... and now they're ahead of Hollywood people, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
But even then they were, really.
Yeah.
They just didn't want to admit it.
Yeah.
They'd laugh at it, but they knew how do they do that?
They couldn't do the same level of action.
Right?
Yeah.
Because they haven't got the knowledge of that.
Yeah. Well, I think that's why Bruce Lee was so revolutionary as well, wasn't he?
He was ahead of them, everybody.
Absolutely, ahead of, in America, and he changed things, obviously, in Hong Kong.
Yeah, they hated him at first. Not hate, but they didn't get on with him.
Yeah.
They argued with him, like, he'd say, I'm not doing that, stupid. And they go, well, that's how we do it. He goes, but that's wrong.
Yeah.
And then he'd be, like, spoiled, he's a bit spoiled, yeah? He'd have tempers and, I'm not doing it then. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he's actually saying, just do it the way we do it. And we want to go and have lunch. And he'd be like, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's good. He insists on his standard.
Yeah.
And he brought everything up.
That's
brought
true.
the game up. And then all the action goes, oh, this guy is really good. You know?
Yeah.
So it made everyone that much better, I think.
Yeah.
By him being there. Otherwise, it just carried on at this same level it was.
Yeah, true. Do you think that it would have eventually, a Bruce Lee would have come along around that sort of time?
No,
He needed
I don't. I think it needed him.
Yeah.
Because they got no idea.
Yeah.
Think about it. They're that good. Jackie Chan, they were better when they're young than when they were famous. You're at your peak when you're 18 to 22, right? But they weren't doing anything. They're just falling down. They couldn't figure out, we're going to put this into that. And they couldn't figure that out until later, you know.
Sure.
So they needed to see something good, something great, to inspire them to think, how can we become good, you know? I'm sure of it. Otherwise, they don't. I don't think they had that mind. They didn't have that mind anyway. I asked them. It's like, we never knew. I said, when you learned that, did you think you were going to make movies? They go, no. We just did it because we were told to do it. You know? And then, we can make money by falling open to those boxes. We'll go and make money.
Sure.
They had no idea, I'm going to make films with this and that.
Yeah.
They didn't think like that.
So there's no missing Ken Russell kung fu movie somewhere?
There was nearly one he did with Brian O'Neill.
Yeah.
It was called Karate is a Thing of the Spirit. And he wanted to make it just about the time when Tatum O'Neill came with Paper Moon, because we met them. I remember they came to our house. He had a script, and it was quite a good script. It was all about these underground karates, and they were practicing in swimming pools that, been emptied out,
Sure,
And it was like all karate wars in LA,
Yeah.
And he wanted to, he was quite a macho guy, Ryan O'Neill, so he wanted to do it. My dad, they nearly made it. My dad got loads of karate books and he was studying it. Well, whatever happened, that film never got made. But maybe it should be made one day.
Yeah, well, if the script's still...
Good name, it? Karate is a Thing of the Spirit.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I was like, you got to do that film. All the films, do that one.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I don't really like action, so, he doesn't like action too much.
Yeah. But
if they would have done it, if the money or whatever the financing must have fallen through.
Sure.
But Ryan O'Neill was really hot then. He was big actor, big time.
When did your sort of acting, because you've acted in quite a number of
but
films.
That's only forced to.
Right.
My dad, he's not the kind of guy that gives you a lot of money and go off. No, we have to go off and then make money.
Yeah.
So
that was purely to make money then?
Yeah, to survive.
Okay. Can you remember the first film that you acted in?
I think it was either Tsui Hark film or Possessed as a David Lai. I forget, one of them.
Okay.
A horror movie.
Yeah.
By David Lai.
Yeah.
I remember Tsui Hark, he got really mad when he saw me. I was really young then and skinny. He goes, I was supposed to be like FBI or something.
Yeah.
And he goes, how come that guy's just a kid and you bring him here? He goes, put him in the back, He's not an FBI agent, right?
Because you look too young.
Yeah, I was like 18. He goes, no, put him in the back. But then I had 2 parts in that movie, and then the Father Christmas was all right,
Right, sure.
Because we could disguise, That was cool.
So that would have been your first visit to Hong Kong then? That's when you were living with Jackie Chan?
That was second visit. I wasn't living with Jackie Chan, no. We would just visit,
Sure.
We ate with him, we stayed on his...
So was he?
Restaurants.
So that's Jackie in the early '80s then. So what's he was a big star then.
Huge. Number one.
Yeah.
Number one.
And was he, how would you say, was he dealing with the fame side of things, or was he just very much he was working hard, very professional, was he? Yeah.
Bit of both.
Yeah. He enjoyed the fame?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
He likes it.
Yeah.
He likes attention.
Yeah.
I remember once we were there and some presents came, and Yuen you know the actor Yuen right? He had some presents too. And Jackie Chan got jealous. He said, no, that must be mine. And he took it and he saw it had Yuen name on it.
Wow.
And he goes, that's his shit. He got angry.
Yeah.
And then I had a T-shirt with Wong Jing Lee on it. He didn't like that either.
Really?
Yeah, he looked at it. Because the other days we had his T-shirts on,
Sure.
And then I had a Wong Jing Lee, he didn't like it.
Is that flashbacks to him? Didn't he kick his teeth out or something?
Yeah, he kicked it too.
Yeah,
that's just an accident.
Yeah.
He likes Wong, no? He likes him.
Yeah.
Some other people told me that.
Yeah.
Because Wong's really good, so it raises his game as well, So they're really, it's excellent.
Yeah.
It's like footballers. When they're both really good, they score more goals.
Sure.
It's the same with them. The better the timing, the more they like it.
Yeah.
The better they get.
So when you first, you could speak
not
Cantonese. How was your Cantonese then?
No, a little bit, nothing really.
So you were living in London during that in the 70s, and you were like, let's move out, let's go out to Hong Kong.
Yes.
What was your sort of end game? Were you just wanted to
I don't know.
work in the movies just to see how it goes?
Yeah, something like that.
Were you doing other jobs when you were out there?
Yeah, did many jobs. Teach English, worked in bars, worked for people, delivering things or anything.
Yeah.
Restaurants, anything, name it, I'll do it.
And you found little odd work in Tsui Hark movies and that sort of thing.
Yeah, but Taiwan was the better one. It was more.
Yeah, so
more full on.
So when did you moved out to Taiwan?
Yeah, about 85, I think. I was in Hong Kong at 83 for about a year or so.
Yeah.
And I'd come back and forth. And then in 85 I went to Taiwan for long. And then because they had a director called Robert Tai who was there, and I was quite a big fan of his work. And I've been looking to find him, people. I have his name, and I'd show people I knew, like actors, and like, why you know this guy? Like people don't want you to. They didn't want us to know him for some reason.
Okay.
Right? And then so I found him. He said, what do you want? I said, you done this. He goes, yeah, I've done all those. I said, well, they're really good. And then he told us what he'd done on top of that, which we didn't know about, all the Shaw Brothers stuff.
Sure.
We didn't know he'd done all those.
Yeah.
We just thought he'd done a few Shaolin V Ninja and Thundering Mantis. Then he told us, no, I did 5 Venoms. And we're like, oh no, you really are the real deal. And then he said, well, what do you want? Anyway, I said, I just wanted to meet you, and if you're filming, come and watch. And then next day his actor rings me and goes, we'll put you in the movie, so come next week and we'll put you in it.
Sure.
And you can work with us. And then from then I did so many films with them.
Yeah.
And he taught me many things, about filming.
So what sort of things did you learn there, Robert Tai? Obviously
everything, like how to set his set, how to work it, how to get everything going from right from like until everyone gets there till you finish.
Yeah.
The setups, the organisation of everything, get it all moving quickly, all the departments. This guy is really, because he don't have much money when he shoots.
Sure.
But it's really fast. He could do 130, 40 setups a day. Some Hollywood they do one. So this guy.
But I guess that's the thing. They've got to make the most out of what they've got. Really,
but everything is quality when he's doing it. It's like not rubbish. It's like, so this guy's really good. And then, all these people were really good.
Yeah.
And I'd say to him, all these people, a lot of them are like new guys. He goes, I found them at McDonald's. I said, aren't you worried? He goes, no, I'd rather have fresh guys than old guys, who've been in the business for years.
Yeah.
I'll train them up. They'll listen to me anyway. So it was really good working with him.
And he was respected then, and
everybody, everyone respected him.
Yeah.
Even like Jackie Chan and them, they knew him, from when they were small. Because they lived in Taiwan for about half a year, and they stayed with them, So they knew him, and they knew he was good.
Yeah.
What would you say, what was it about his films, and particularly about Taiwan, around that sort of time? That's around the sort of ninja explosions of
exactly,
the era.
yes. Yeah.
So what was going on in Taiwan? Why did that excite
No, his films excited me. When I saw it, I said, I haven't seen any choreography like this.
Sure, yeah, so it was the
style,
action.
yeah. Like, it's like fireworks, you know?
Yeah.
It was like there was no dead areas on the screen. Like, everyone was moving. There was no people like looking for their cue and everything. Yeah. They're like all really good.
Sure.
And there was just constant movement and new moves. Yeah. Like, every move wasn't repeated. It was like, I was got to find that guy.
Yeah.
You know, what's in his head to make it that mad? Yeah. And he was doing wire stuff no one had seen. Like that movie Duel to the Death, they stole all his wire.
Yeah,
he got really mad about that.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah. Because his assistant went and worked for them, and then he's asking him, how does he do that and that and that. You know, sometimes when he gets a bit drunk, he'll have a fit about it. You know? Yeah. Because that bloody Tony Chang, he's always nicking my shit, nicking my men, asking him how I do it. I mean, once they rang one of his guys, I think they rang him up to ask him, because he's Tony Chang's best friend. Does his sound effects, Robert. Yeah. He said, you got a shot in there when the ninja disappears, like it goes really far out into on a wire, but it goes really far. Yeah. And Tsui Hark wants to know how you do it, because Tony Chang can't figure it out. And he goes, well, you got the film and you watch it, and he just hung up, because I ain't telling them.
Wow, they're trying to steal his
and they couldn't figure it out. Still, to this day, they don't know how he did it.
Wow. Well, that's quite impressive, you're getting those guys.
Yeah, they know he's good. Tsui Hark wanted to work with him, but one guy said, if you work with him, you might regret it. So it never happened, you know.
Yeah.
And he's hard to control anyway. You know, he don't.
Robert Tai.
Yeah, he don't want people telling him.
So when he's the boss when he's on
set. Because he says, well, if you want it that way, do it yourself then. Yeah. Why are you asking me?
Yeah.
So he's quite arrogant like that.
Are you still in touch with him?
Yeah, he's very ill though. He's not. He rang this morning, but I didn't get the call. He's in hospital. He's critical.
Oh dear.
It's not good.
Well, losing a lot of guys now, aren't we?
Yes, many. Yeah. Many going now.
Yeah.
They're all getting old.
Yeah.
Even Philip Coke's like an old man, and
yeah.
It's sad. And they're not being replaced. They've taught people, but then people are not interested.
Yeah.
And then even if you could do it, you couldn't get anyone to act in the film anyway. There's no kung fu guys really. I mean, Donnie Yen's been the only one. And he's been there since the 80s.
Well, this is it.
And he's the only dude. And, he's the standard now. Whether that's good or not, I don't know. He's decent, but there's nobody else. Jackie Wu maybe and Tony Jaa, but there's nothing else. No new ones, no young ones coming out.
Yeah.
And no young choreographers who come up with really... They're always trying to rehash Yuen Ping, but we need some young ones to...
Is that just because the usual channels... I mean, a lot of those guys came out of, like, the Peking Opera or the theatre, or they had
some of them
backgrounds there.
They did. But they've taught people, you know.
Yeah.
But then people just disappear or get disheartened.
Yeah.
And they end up at TV and they get bored, and then they go off and do other jobs.
Yeah. There's good TV around, though, isn't there?
There is good telly, yeah. And some of them are doing very good work.
Yeah.
You know, it's better, actually, the TV fighting is better than the movie fighting, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's just, that seems to where it's going at the moment. I mean, the Thais had it good. Well, Panna was alive, but he died a year or two ago?
A year ago, yeah.
And that's finished, it's seen. They've all gone back to TV. Even, the big stars, they're all gone to TV. And they've sort of given up as well.
Yeah.
So it's good and bad. I mean, American are getting better at choreography now.
Well, that seems
people
to be the
Brad
transition.
Allen and
of course,
like that. They're good. They've learnt a bit.
Yeah, and I guess they've taken a lot of cues from the Hong Kong guys.
Well, Brad Allen's Jackie's kind of student.
Yeah,
he's really good. And people like him are doing good things. And some of the Born Identity films have good fighting in it. It's quite impressive to watch.
Yeah.
And
is that what's really excited you recently? Then, would you say, is stuff that you've seen?
That wasn't bad. Yeah, and you see good things all the time. Kung Fu Jungle had a few moments in it. was quite good.
That was all right. It was good to see a few cameos in there as well. Some of the guys.
They had some nice bits in it.
Yeah.
And like the Bourne movies, and then you get these Undisputed movies. They got a few good movies.
Sure, yeah.
So you get a few treats now and then.
That's right.
But it's not personally. I prefer the old. I'd still rather watch an old film I hadn't seen than a new one.
Yeah.
I'd get more out of it.
There can't be many kung fu films you
haven't
many, seen.
No. But there's telly. There's a lot of telly.
Yeah.
That we missed, or it's lost, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But those are good.
Yeah.
You see a lot of good stuff, and it's more exciting. It's just better movements.
There's still a lot of innovative stuff in those movies as well, because even like you touched on the Yen Wu Ping films, those great his Miracle Fighters, those films are just they're insane, aren't they?
Very clever.
I mean, you can't imagine. I guess it's what you were saying about making do within the budgets and what they have that
they've been creative. I think money ruins those people.
Aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
I mean, he's remaking that, but I don't think it'll be as good as.
Well, yeah, I don't know. What does he need to? Why does?
You don't need. It's like remaking The Godfather. Why would you do that?
Why would you do it?
But he's doing it.
Yeah.
But then Tsui Hark, he's a money machine. So
sure. Yeah.
There's a factory basically.
Yeah.
If it's work for them, they'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was a masterpiece. I think it took him a year to make The Miracle Fighters. I was on the set of that. It was great.
Really,
all
you're
the
on the
brothers
set?
there, with a big bat. They had a big bat. They cut that out. Had a giant bat in there, and the kid running away from it. And just mad. Yeah.
So, could you make heads or tail of what was going on there and what they were trying to do?
No, we just knew it was madness because once they're there, it's fireworks again, and it's just nuts.
So, but you're getting a ringside seat there. You're seeing these masters at work, aren't you? Really, and how they.
I've seen Liu Jialiang working.
Yeah,
he's good. Sammo Hung. They all have their way. Jackie.
Yeah.
They're all unique.
Yeah. What Sammo films were you
on? Moon Warriors, Project A.
Yeah, brilliant.
And just to see a tower being built in front of your eye. He goes, I want a tower now. And it was like, speeded up filming. Yeah. This table appeared like within seconds.
Yeah.
I'm a proper tower. These guys are, yes sir, no brother. And that thing was up within minutes, man.
Wow.
I've never seen anything like it in my life. And he had big name stars pulling wires. He didn't care who you were. Yeah, you up there. And
Sure.
These were names.
Yeah, wow.
He didn't care who they were.
But he commands a lot of it. Big Brother, they call him, don't they? Yeah.
Jackie Chan, even to an extent.
Yeah.
Just to nod and bow to him.
Yeah.
There's very few that don't. He's the king, really.
Yeah. So, just going back to Taiwan, did you meet? You worked a bit with Alexander Lowe, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's Robert Tai's student.
One of his discoveries. Yeah. So, what's he like?
Nice, very cool
nice
guy. Yeah. Whether I like him, but he's very cool, very tough person, And if you know him, of course you like him a lot.
Yeah.
You don't know him, he's a kind of tough guy, he'll take, he wouldn't take any lip from anybody.
Sure,
yeah. Oh, mate, what are you staring at? Yeah, I'm staring at you. And he's one of those, yeah.
Really, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's not. He don't care who you are, where you're from.
Yeah.
He's not bothered. He's a street guy. I said, what would you do if you didn't move movies? He goes, I'll be in prison. I'll be in a gang or inside.
Sure. Yeah.
He's a tough guy, but he's a very smart person. Good. He's directing in drama now in China.
So he stepped away from the
acting. He thinks it's stupid. he thinks kung fu is stupid. He don't like it.
Really?
He come on. He's like, stupid.
Yeah.
He don't like it. Especially like Ninja Lo. Bay called him Ninja Lo. Right? He got mad. He go, what the fuck? He got really angry.
Well, he made loads of those, didn't he?
Yeah, but he just make money. He don't like it.
Sure, I see. Yeah.
He wanted to make. I did a film with him, and he loved it.
Yeah.
Because I let him play the bad guy, and after that, he only played bad guys.
Yeah.
So he didn't like kung fu movies too much. He could do it.
Yeah.
But he got sick of it.
Did you see that with a lot of those guys? Were there those that were just taking instructions from the choreographers?
Yeah, a lot of them. Some don't care.
Really, yeah.
It means nothing to them.
Okay.
It's a job, isn't it?
Sure.
And what do you want? Yeah, okay, I'll do it. But some are good at it, but they know they're good, but they don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Some are bad, but they want to be good. There's so many kinds of...
Sure.
And whereas there must be some people that you've met and over the years, like say a Wang Jane Lee character, who's, I mean, those guys, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, they're the real deal.
They're the real deal. Yeah.
There's a lot of them too, you know.
Yeah.
But again, they're professionals. They're not bullies or anything.
No,
like that.
but do they take well to the choreography and that side of things? Yeah, they jump to it.
Very good.
Yeah.
In fact, the last guy I brought, Chang Shan, he said that no one knows what I do. I never tell them. I just do what they want, and I go about my stuff. I never show them what I know.
Yeah.
I just do what they want.
Yeah.
Because people don't know what he does. We didn't know until he told us.
Yeah.
We thought he was taekwondo. Nah. Because I never learned that in my life. It's just for the movies. But no one knows what I do. I go to the set, I wait, they show me, I do it.
Yeah. You studied Kung Fu?
All bits and pieces. Yeah, of all kinds.
Do you still do it?
No.
Did you do any martial arts?
No, nothing, no.
Nothing?
Only in here.
Yeah.
Okay, if he does that, I'll just do that.
Yeah.
You know? It's a reflex thing.
Sure.
It is. It has to be like that. I mean, that guy Chang Shan, his wife told me he hits it. She's been hit by him many times.
Right.
Because if you touch that guy, he reacts.
He just reacts.
Yeah. And he goes, I've been hit many times. He smashed his teacher in the face because he tapped him on it. He went like, oh, sorry, sir.
Wow.
It's all because he's like fighting in tournament.
Yeah.
And you wound up to that.
Yeah,
you know, if you to get touched. Bruce Lee hated people touching him. But I don't know if it was because he was going to hit him, or he just didn't like. He hated it.
Yeah.
It used to drive him mental.
Right.
So, a lot of them, they don't, they don't want to be handled.
Yeah.
They strike out. I think it's a sensitivity thing.
So you were in how long were you in Taiwan for then?
I'm still there.
Is that, I was going to ask, because you live in London.
I live in
mainly?
London now, for the last 10 years.
For the last 10 years?
No, about 7 years.
But you were mainly based in Taiwan before that, yeah?
Yeah, for a long time.
Yeah, working a lot with Robert Tai?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Many.
Yeah, producing and directing and that sort of thing. So the Taiwan film industry, it seems to be picking up again. That's quite encouraging, isn't it? I guess.
Yeah, it's good they get the odd one, but the local, otherwise, there's nothing. You know, they used to make so many a year, 200.
They used to churn out the films, didn't they? Yeah.
No, nothing.
Is that so? What happened? What happened there then?
No market, and then property and space, and there was a lot of land. There's no land anymore. It's all been built, and there's no market. They've just got to China and film the TV and movies. Nobody watches Chinese movies, really.
Right.
And if you can look at the box office figures, they won't be very good for those films.
Internationally?
If you put like an American release and then you look at it'll always be more. There's very few films get good box office in Taiwan now, Chinese movies.
Interesting.
Has to be a very big star. Like, I don't know who's big even anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not sure even.
Yeah.
I didn't follow it. I kind of lost interest in those new movies.
Really?
But I don't know who's number one anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure. Like Donnie Yen, they know him there. They watch him. Like Yip Man, it's quite popular.
Yeah.
But I don't know about the Jungle, Kung Fu, if it's even shown in Taiwan. I don't know.
Sure.
They're really not interested in Kung Fu movies there.
Yeah. So that was sort of the beginning of the end then, was it just locally that people lost interest in its own industry?
I'd say in about 2000 onwards it started really going down.
Yeah.
Really going down. All the people stopped. Even Hong Kong movies stopped. The stars was charging so much. The bosses couldn't make money back.
Yeah.
They have to go. Jet Li and Jackie, they go to Hollywood, they get millions, and Hong Kong company can't pay them that.
Sure.
There's no way they can recoup their costs.
Yeah.
So the market just vanished. And there's very few, even Hong Kong movies, 10 a year, 14 a year, small amount. Like that.
It's not many.
Yeah.
Kung Fu Jungle, that was a Hong Kong production.
That was financed by the Hong Kong stunt. It was a charity thing. Yeah. I'm not sure it make money or not.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it though.
Do you go out there still quite a bit then?
Once a year, maybe.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Just to catch up with old friends and that sort of thing?
They all moved to Thailand, most of the people.
Thailand? Yeah.
because it's cheaper there to live. It's nicer.
Yeah.
Hong Kong is kind of crowded and
crowded. Yeah.
Unless you have a lot of money, then you can live in a big place. Otherwise, you'd be in a small room somewhere.
Yeah.
It's not so comfortable. And most people left there that I knew. They went back home, or Thailand.
Should we talk about White Tiger then?
If you want, yeah.
Yeah. What's happening with that then? Is that you're getting? You don't know?
No idea.
No idea.
The boss does what she wants. It's a lady boss.
Who's
the lady who owns the movie?
Okay.
She just didn't. I don't know. She didn't release it.
Yeah. So it was all filmed, and you must have been filmed back in what, 2012 maybe?
Yes, 2012.
Like yeah.
Oh, right.
And you got a good cast there. You got
Don Wilson, Cynthia, Matt Mullins, and Joe Lewis.
Last film.
I did 6 films with Joe Lewis.
Yeah.
The only guy to do 6.
Yeah. Yeah. Describe your relationship with him then, because that goes back for years and years, didn't it? Yeah, long time.
Death Cage was the first.
Death Cage. Yeah,
he's a funny guy. Yeah, we were good friends.
Yeah.
He's funny. He's always joking around. No, I didn't know him. My friend knew him, and he got him. I said, look, we need a guy. He sent some guys, and he sent Steve Tartaglia and Joe Lewis, and then I got Robin Shu.
Yeah.
I found him in Hong Kong, and that's how we put that cast together for the producer, and he got the other guys, and that was it.
Yeah.
But Joe was great. It's always good, real fun to be around him.
Yeah.
Great.
And he was the real deal as well.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. He's really. He knows, his karate. He knows every style.
Yeah.
How it works, how it should work, how to make it work. If you sit him down there and talk for hours about martial arts. Don Wilson as well is another one.
He's a real deal as well, isn't he?
Yeah. He's great. Yeah. But he's another one who can talk about martial art for hours and hours and hours and hours.
Had you met Don Wilson and Cynthia before?
I met Cynthia briefly. I'd never met Don, but I'd known, of him for years.
Yeah.
He's a legend, and he's a really good guy.
Yeah.
Really nice person, easy to work with.
Yeah.
And it's cool person.
I want to try and get him on the podcast.
He's great, but you better have a lot of tape.
Yeah, he talks a lot.
Yeah, the great procrastinator.
Yeah.
He's the king. He loves that, and he knows it.
But that's so when White Tiger was being filmed, that was was that the first time Don Wilson and Cynthia got together? Because they've worked together since. Yeah,
they did a Kung Fu Kid or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if they made a movie together before.
No.
I don't think so.
So
but it's only a small fight they have at the end.
Yeah. So just describe the shoots. There was over in Philippines, was it? Is that right?
In Thailand.
Yeah.
I forget the name of that place. Phetchaburi or something. It was in Bangkok, a lot of it. And then we went off to this jungle. I forget. They shoot loads of movies there. The Hong Kong movies, loads. It's just a national park. It's past the River Kwai, that's all I know.
Yeah.
We stopped there on the way. And then we were there for it's like Burmese refugees lived there.
Oh, right.
We had real refugees in the movie. And it was cool, it was all right. It was like a quick shoot, a month or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was easy.
And what made you want to direct?
The director they had, he had to go back to the States. So about 6 days before filming, he was ill or he didn't want to do it. And so I said, well, what's going to happen then? And the producer goes, you're going to do it. I said, no, I don't want to do it. And then he said, no, do it. I said, okay, you pay me more, I'll do it then. Because a lot of work, you got to redesign it, kind of make it. It wasn't really it was more of a comedy the way they had it.
Yeah.
When the other guy before he left, so we had to quickly change it and make it more action orientated.
Yeah.
It was just fun. But Matt Mullins, he helped a lot. Every day I'd call him, Matt, we've got to write this thing, it's not work, And he'd be like, that's got to make sense. And I was like, don't worry about it. But he was really you know, it's his big thing for him. Yeah. So, and he's great as well.
Yeah.
Very professional person.
So
easy
that was
to
sort
deal
of.
with.
So it was done on the fly a little bit then, was it?
No, we had a script, but we had to. Yeah, we were rewriting the script as we were going, you know, because they had to change it when the guy he left, and they would rehearse fights. They were more interested in the fights anyway, which I wasn't really involved with that much. And then the guys who did that was Kazu. He's good martial arts from France, and Ray Huber is a German, Austrian dude who did what's that film called? Bangkok Adrenaline. That guy. Sure. So they were doing the action every day, rehearsing them, and then we had a big star was from TV. It was called Yui. She was really good. Yeah. Thailand. She was a big part of that movie being made because the boss wanted her in the movie. For some reason, she wanted her in it, so it was important she was in the movie. Yeah, and she was really good though. Yeah, I mean, we had all these. I remember there's one scene on a river where all these big stunt guys and even like Matt Marlins and Dunn. They couldn't get across. She just walked across it like nothing, you know. Yeah, totally. All these stunts were falling in and that. She was like, "What are you guys? You're rubbish." Yeah. And she was very, very good, and it was no problems doing that.
You happy with it? Happy with the film?
I've never seen it.
You've not seen it?
Not seen it, no.
You've not seen your own film?
No, I don't see it. We just shot it and we leave it there. Right. Because they wanted to edit it, themselves.
So it was literally, so you were sort of parachuted in?
I was going to be the assistant director for the guy. Yeah. I knew all the people. And the production company is my friend, so... He said, "Oh, you want to do the AD on this film?" I said, "All right, okay, I'll do it." Yeah. I knew Joe, and because I'd done one before with him called Kill 'Em All.
Sure, yeah.
So that was all right. With Gordon Liu, and Joe Lewis. So.
Yeah.
So, but when the guy quit and then he went back to the States, they said, "We need someone to do it, or we just cancel it."
Right.
So I said, "Oh," they said, "You do it." So I said, "All right, do it." I'm the judge. I said to the German, "You do it." The Bangkok. He's like, "I don't want to do it." And he said, "You're going to do it." So we're arguing over who's going to do it.
Who's going to direct this film?
And then Don goes to him, "Yeah, so you're the director, great. Pleased to meet you." It's like,
wow.
It's funny.
Yeah, because I guess you've got the guys were all booked in then, were they? I guess the film was starting. It was all going to kick off.
Yeah, it was a few days before, 6 days or a week before.
Yeah.
I mean, I was already going around with him, with the director. He said, "Oh, I'll do this," and then he got ill, or I don't know, he left anyway. And then, I did it.
So what's happening with that film? Do you know this? I thought it was...
It got released last week.
Yeah, it's getting the release.
I mean, they wanted it. My friend wanted to buy it for Germany, but they wanted too much money for it.
Yeah. Are you going to get a release over here?
I have no idea who'll buy it. I wouldn't buy those films. You can't make money with those.
Yeah.
Unless for TV, but I haven't got know-how in that.
Yeah.
But the video is dead here. If it was 10 years ago, I'd buy it, make money.
Yeah.
But now there's no market for those films. So I don't know what they'll do with it. But they want a lot for it, obviously. But she's not worried about that boss, I think. She's a wealthy lady. I don't know.
Would you like to direct again? Do you enjoy directing?
Not really.
No.
I would, but the conditions, it's too difficult.
Yeah.
All these low budgets, no good. You have to compromise, think quickly, moving boxes, and you want to have the whole thing, and you want to do 2-3 shots a day, wait for the right light. It's too expensive.
Yeah.
So I'd rather not think about it. But, when I was young, I wanted to.
Yeah.
But the more I saw how impossible that is to make it perfect, I'd rather not. Maybe just do TV or help people producing or something.
Is there not like a vision or a concept of a movie that you still really want to film?
Yeah, there would be some martial art. I want to do it, like Jackie Chan movie or something. But it's money and time, and who's going to pay for that kind of things, right? But of course, I can see how it would look good in my head.
Yeah.
But can they even do it? Know what I want.
Well, you want to get all the old guys together in Expendables kind of thing.
Only Jackie Chan is good at the old people now. I think the others cannot. Even he's too old, really. But the idea I had, he's perfect because he's old. You need that. I wanted that in, but once really you're past 40, because if you think about it, their peak is 28, 22 to 30. That's their best.
Yeah.
They can only go. You don't expect Maradona to play anymore.
Yeah.
I shouldn't expect them to perform at that level. I don't. So a lot of people say, I wasn't good. You can't expect it to be good.
Yeah.
They're too old. Even, it's just a novelty that they're in these movies, you know what I mean? I look at it like, and Jackie Chan's it's a novelty now. Like, that last one he did was very good with the swords. It had those Americans in it.
The Dragon Blade?
Yeah, he was good in that.
Yeah.
He's so old and he's still better than everybody else.
Yeah. Can I quickly talk to you about Eastern Heroes and the DVD and the VHS times?
Of course.
Because I think that was probably, the most sort of instrumental thing in getting, new generations into these movies. I mean, particularly in the UK, there would have been, that was the only sort of outlet there was, really.
Yeah, I knew there was like a market here because I'd released films before on VHS prior to that.
Yeah.
Like Jackie Chan films and films like Shaolin v Lama.
Great film.
I put out. I knew I was a market.
Yeah.
And so I came back to England about 94 or something like that, 93. And I just finished those Cinema of Vengeance documentary. I sold that. And so I met MIA, that label. And then I met Rick, and so I said, and Rick was doing some deals with TVB in Camden, selling bits. And it was really good. Every week we'd sell loads of these TVB films and even booted bits, yeah? I said, we'd do this legitimately, make 10 times, there's a market. People get good quality, proper box, and then we thought, let's do that. And the MIA is doing it. So we made our own label, Eastern Heroes.
Yeah.
Just basically because we knew as fans, people liked it. We knew what they wanted. So that's how we went again. We were doing TVB, but with small, and then we just got the movies for national.
Yeah.
It didn't made no difference to them because they said, okay, whatever you sell, give us % or whatever. I forget how we worked it, but that's how we were able to get all those titles.
Yeah.
Because TVB had the rights and they licensed them to us. And then we built Eastern Heroes from that.
Yeah.
And because we knew the fan base was there and Rick, he knew it was there. And I knew where a lot of the films were, we just kept putting them out. And then we made a magazine and then it was really popular.
It was a complete package.
Came then and
that's right,
all exploded at once.
It was a DVD. It was a VHS back in those days. Yes, you did video magazines. You did your own events. You had your own shop. It was a full.
Yeah, and then Made in Hong Kong came on the scene, and then we went to Hollywood. It was all happening at once. You know what I mean? And it was excellent.
Yeah.
So that's how Eastern Hero. And then we had a shop, and it went on for quite a while.
Yeah. Ricky, I've spoken to Ricky about this. He describes you as the Lennon and McCartney of the martial arts movie world. So what was meeting Ricky must have been, did you just got on straight away? I mean, he was screening movies at the time, wasn't he? He was doing his own screenings of films? Yeah,
in the Scarline.
Yeah.
I met him, and then we decided to work together, And it was fun. It was good.
Yeah.
I think we did we were doing small things first, shows and trips abroad, with films.
Yeah.
And then we said, let's just do the label properly, rather than these photocopied sleeves and TVB labels and all this. It's just tedious.
Yeah. Make it a legitimate business.
Yeah.
I was like, the thing that was great about that was obviously the VHSs had liner notes, so it had biographies on all the guys.
That's right, we started.
Was that you? Were you writing all that stuff?
Some
obviously?
Of them are. Some. We had many people help us at that time because to do those writings.
Yeah, it had a full filmographies. It had everything
we had
in
many
there.
people:
loads of detail.
Ken Miller, Jude Boyer, Chris Mercer, Rick, Lisa. Anyone we knew who wanted. Oh, you want to review a film? Like I knew guys in Kerrang, my brother knew, and I said, you want to review? They love reviewing stuff.
Yeah.
So I give them films to review, and then so you get different perspectives on all these.
Sure.
So when people are reading, it's like, it's not all the same person.
Yeah.
So it's much a better read.
And a lot of those guys have gone on, like Bay Logan started with you guys, is that correct?
No, he was on his own. He was doing magazines in Birmingham.
Sure, yeah.
He came down, and then I knew him before, Rick.
Yeah.
We'd done some things in Combat before.
Yeah, because he edited Combat magazine, that's right.
I knew him a long time.
Yeah.
So we went way back.
Yeah. And of the guys that you brought over, who were the most memorable guys that you brought over?
Wang Zhengli, I guess.
Wang Zhengli, yeah, a couple of years ago. Yeah.
Fat. And the last guy, those three are my favourites, I suppose.
Yeah.
And we brought Godfrey Ho, that was funny.
Godfrey Ho.
Jet Li was great.
Jet Li, yeah. That would have been 90s, yeah.
99 or 90, yeah. I can't remember. Black Mask, anyway.
Sure, mid-90s, yeah. I mean, these guys were at the height of their powers over in Hong Kong.
Jet Li
and
was I had to run with him because he was mobbed. He was actually mobbed. I had to run through Leicester Square with him.
Really?
Being chased.
Wow.
By Vietnamese women and kids and Chinatown. Yeah.
But that would have been interesting because he was... I mean, you were bringing these guys over. Yeah. They hadn't really had any Western or mainstream exposure at that time, really.
It was all through the underground, and we didn't have the rights to their movies.
Yeah.
People were just buying copies in Chinatown or from some stray guys, And this was all... And there was no internet then.
Yeah.
This was all... People just... Through the grape... There was late night still in Chinatown.
Sure.
That's how powerful their Jet Li was.
Yeah.
He was very strong.
Yeah. Nice guy?
Yeah, very, very zen kind of guy.
Zen, yeah.
He's good.
What was Chow Yun-fat like?
Oh, he's the best.
Yeah.
He's very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
He's really good. I like him.
Just to wrap up then, really, I just wanted to lead in, I guess, to now you've seen it go from the VHS boom into the DVDs.
Yes.
And then really now there's no... I guess now we're in the world of sort of online streaming of movies. YouTube.
Hulu.
Pirate torrent sites as well, where you can download movies.
You can get anything now with a click of a mouse.
So I'm wondering where that sort of puts things in getting sort of new generations into these movies.
Oh, they're spoiled for choice, aren't they? So that there's so much they won't watch it. If you've got one channel, you watch it all the time. You've got 100 channels, you end up watching none of them.
Yeah.
I find that,
Yeah.
So when they've got so many to choose, I don't know how that is for them.
Yeah.
New people. I don't even think kids watch these films at all. Not even on YouTube. They want to play games, they'd rather watch a video of a game being played than a movie.
Yeah.
One of their mates playing the game.
That's very popular, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, look how I've defeated all these droids or whatever it is. That's more interesting to them.
But do you think there's examples of... Look at like Kung Fu Panda or something like that. I mean, that's a kid's film. That's an animated thing, but that's drawing on all of the old Kung Fu movies.
Yeah, it's always going to be there.
Yeah.
It's always there. You can't escape it. It's just... It's more... It's not the pure thing it was.
Yeah.
It's different. They threw too much money at it. Money's going to ruin it. Because the skill doesn't need money. You give Jackie Chan, like Yumor Ping, those shit cameras, and you send them out to the fields, they bring back Snake in a Good Shadow. It's a classic. You give them all that money, and they bring you back some piece of rubbish. Like what they normally give us back these days. And it costs billions to make.
Yeah. So what would you like to see then, Toby, going forward? Do you think
more pure comfort?
More pure, yeah.
Less, effects. Less, just more pure form of.
Tony Jaa was a good example of that. That was a good one.
They didn't want any of that.
Yeah.
Because they like that. Panna, he loves all them old films.
Yeah.
He loves real stuff. We took Joe Lewis to his house, and Joe was showing him all these things, and he was in his element. He was screaming. We got it on film. He said, this is mad. Because Joe was telling him how to destroy people and smash skulls. And he was just going nuts. He was like a big kid. He was like a late night. And he was in his element. He knew that. He knows that that's what's good. And that's why I like Banner. He knew real is best. You can't cheat it. They don't effects. A lot of people get blinded by it. But,
do you think the appeal, so is it just the appeal is still there, it's just that maybe the exposure just isn't there in the same way?
I think it is there, the appeal, because when Ong Bak came out, everyone started watching it.
Yeah.
People who don't really normally like kung fu movies.
Yeah.
Like, just people in the pub, they'll be talking about that.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see that film with that guy? He's nutted that guy in the head.
Yeah.
And they love it.
Yeah.
Because it's real, it wasn't fake, you know.
Yeah.
So I think if the right film comes along with the right dude, of course.
Yeah.
There's always a market. People are always looking for that. But it's hard to find them people now. You know?
When you look back at the stuff you've done over the years, I mean, you've been involved in so much stuff and you've worked with so many people. I mean, what are you most proud of?
What I did? None of it really. No good.
Not even the films you've directed, or some of the documentaries you've made. Great documentaries.
The Bruce Lee one was quite.
Yeah, Death by Misadventure.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that was good.
Top Fighter's good.
Yeah, I didn't like this.
You didn't like that?
Cinema was alright. The first two, they were good.
Yeah.
I did some small projects on my own. They were alright, but it's not for public. Just clips and small things, you know.
Yeah.
I like those, but the films, they have good things in them, you know.
Sure.
But they're not what I'd want. You know, I wouldn't watch it. You know, it's not something I would.
That's your test then, is it? I guess it's not something you wouldn't watch it then.
No, I wouldn't. They have bits in it I would like, you know.
Yeah.
Like the film I would do with Alexander has good things in it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like, this is good, really good. Even they said it.
Yeah.
So I knew it was good. So, but, you know, we had no money, we had no end, you know, so there's flaws in it.
Sure.
So no
but as a product, as a creative endeavour, that's something
good and bad, yeah. Things. Oh, The Fist of Legend 2 was good. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
5 days to shoot, 4 or 5 days.
Really? You did the whole thing? And
it turned out really good, made money, it's a good product.
Yeah.
Everyone was happy, it's good.
There was a Bruce Lee and a Jet Li in that.
Yeah, we had Van Damage.
That's right.
Van Damme's real stand-in.
Yeah, his stunt double.
Yeah, Todd Senefonte.
Yeah.
A nice guy. Didn't say a word. Didn't say anything. No, hello, and that was it. I don't think we spoke to him. I'll shoot him.
Yeah.
He just said, okay, all right. Very nice man.
Yeah.
It was great. No problems. The shoot went good. And the film did well. It was only we had an old film and then we stuck some bits into it.
Sure.
And the old film, in fact, one of the actors in the film is the guy that directed Bodyguards and Assassins.
Yeah,
because his dad had made the old film, Peter Chan, right?
Sure.
So then Peter Chan found out we had the original and we sent him a copy. He was really pleased. So, because I wanted to see
he was
that.
pleased whether you got it made?
Well, he didn't have a copy of the film.
Sure.
So I sent by the Hong Kong Film Archive to give him, because he was looking for it. He was really happy.
Toby, thank you so much for your time. Cheers for that. Toby Russell there. Great to chat to Toby. Thank you so much for listening to that. I do hope that you enjoyed that conversation from the Kung Fu Movie Guide podcast. If you have enjoyed it, then please do like the show, subscribe to our channel, leave a comment and share it with your friends. For more episodes, head over to kungfumovieguide.com and wherever it is that you get your podcasts. You can also contact the show and keep up to date with all our latest news via social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, and you can also email us. The email address is hello@kungfumovieguide.com. Okay, this is Ben Johnson signing off. Thank you so much for listening to this episode on our YouTube channel, and until we meet again, do take care and bye for now.